I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we are talking about the finer things in life. We are talking about art and poetry, and they are combined together in a wonderful book called New Horizons in Life, Art, and Poetry. It is written by Dr. William Clark. It is a combination of artwork, poetry, and prose, and it looks at all of these aspects of life through art, and it is just wonderful, and we are delighted to have Dr. Clark join us here today on Spotlight. Thank you so much for joining us, Doctor.
Well, first of all, I'm delighted to be here, and thanks for asking me. Communication is wonderful nowadays. Here I am sitting at home in Scotland, and there you are in the big US,
Yeah,
and we can just chat.
it's wonderful. It is
Communication
wonderful. It
is
brings people
terrific.
together. It brings
Yeah.
worlds together. And I love your book. You and I were chatting before the show, and you said this collection of art and poetry was actually brought about because of COVID. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, well, basically at that time we were all very confined, and I was looking for something to do. So I looked back in my life, and I am not an artist, but at one time in my life, in the 1980s, when I was in my 40s, I attended a correspondence course, ABC in art, and that was based in Paris. So I had 4 volumes of instruction and inspiration, and I worked my way through it. I didn't finish the course. It was a very long course, but it did inspire me to draw and paint and express myself artistically.
It's
And
wonderful. I mean, you say you're not an artist, but the artwork within this book is quite beautiful, from, portraits of people to landscapes to architectural drawings. I think they're quite lovely, and they look at some really beautiful places. So I think it's quite a treasure for people to have.
that was inspirational in the format that the Paris ABC School of Art. It really did inspire me to get into different things. Each chapter was on a different aspect of art, and it allowed me to experiment, use my imagination. And it was quite inspiring for me to do that.
Now, is the artwork that you created for this book new works or older works or both?
They're all older works
Mhm.
because it was in the decade of the 1980s that I did all of that artwork.
Amazing. It's amazing that you learned so much from a correspondence school, but I guess we know in this era, things can be done remotely or from far distances, and there's not necessarily a slip between the cup and the lip, that things get done smoothly, right?
Yes, this was before the age of internet technology, visual communication.
Mhm.
It was simply by doing projects, drawing, painting, and writing about the experience, and then submitting all of the projects to Paris. Unfortunately, I was not allowed to travel to Paris to do this. I had to just do it at home, and it worked very well. And basically, all of the work was reviewed by professional artists, and they gave feedback. It was a great way to learn. It was really quite inspiring.
It sounds wonderful. And in your occupation, you are an orthodontist. In many
Yes,
ways, that requires an artful hand as well and an artful eye, don't you think?
yes. It requires dexterity. Um, and we use our hands, of course, in dentistry and orthodontics. It's very important to be controlled in that way. And it just fitted for me. I enjoyed it very much.
And one of your
Uh,
books is called Braces and Faces, and it
yes,
takes a look
yes.
at the creation of your
Yeah.
orthodontic worth. Tell
Mm.
me a little bit about that.
Faces and Braces.
Okay.
And I have written many books. I've probably written 20 books, and most of them have been published, but some of them are online in my websites, and they're mostly about orthodontics.
Hmm.
So Faces and Braces was a special one because I wrote that for patients and parents, and I wrote it in very simple language, language that even children could understand. In their language, the book opens with the statement from my granddaughter, who is on the front cover of the book.
Beautiful little girl, beautiful
And
young lady.
she says, my name is Rebecca, and I want to talk to you about orthodontics for you and me. And treat yourself to a brilliant smile. That is the inspiration for young patients. And on the back cover, I have titles like, would you like to improve your image and your prospects in life? This book can change your life. Whether you're a youngster, a teenager, or an adult, if you're embarrassed to smile because of your teeth, Faces and Braces will help you to smile with confidence. Do you have crooked teeth? Do your front teeth stick out? Does your chin stick out? Do you lack confidence? This book has the answers for these problems. This is the best investment you can make in your self-image. So that's the basis of Faces and Braces.
I love it. I mean, I had braces as a kid. I had this open bite, and
Yes,
that was rectified. But then as I got older, I noticed my teeth were shifting again. And just recently, I did the clear aligners, and I'm so
yes,
happy I
yes.
did. You see
Yeah,
my nice smile now.
yeah.
So
I congratulate your orthodontist.
thank you.
You mentioned Invisalign, and that's a new technique, very popular in orthodontics. But I have invented another technique
Mm.
I invented two techniques that are used worldwide. Um, this one the title is Invisible Transforce Orthodontics. Now, that can do much more than Invisalign in treatment of difficult situations because it is based on expansion. There is a transverse expander
Mm-hmm.
or there is a forward expander. And these are preformed appliances. They only attach to the molars and they are driven by very light springs, nickel titanium springs in a unit that does this to expand transversely, and that transforms crowded anterior teeth. It simply
Amazing.
widens the arch. Invisalign can't do that. Invisalign only moves the teeth a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
But this is excellent as a pre-aligner. It
Amazing.
does
You've
all
always been an innovator, it seems, doctor, and you've always
yeah,
stayed
yeah.
extremely active. I guess that's why the COVID lockdown was real inspiration for you because you had to keep that
Yeah,
brain of yours active as always, right?
yeah, I enjoyed it. um,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
then, of course, we also can expand the arch this way forward, and that treats many patients with crowding in the posterior segments and corrects the anterior teeth at the same time. So these are new techniques in orthodontics, but the first technique that I developed is called twin blocks. And you can look it up on twinblocks at mac.com.
Mhm.
And you'll see all of the things that I have invented in my 85 years. I'm 85 years young. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You could teach a lot of much younger men and women a lot of things still, doctor. I'm very sure
Uh,
of that. I also think that it's
but
interesting that with your book, Faces and Braces, is that people don't realize that your mouth is the structure of your face.
that's how you communicate. A
Yeah,
beautiful smile really gives you confidence. And that's not temporary. That lasts you, as you know, throughout your life. It's a,
absolutely.
it's a great benefit. Treat yourself to a brilliant smile. Now,
Absolutely.
the first technique that I developed was not simply to correct the teeth. It was to improve the face.
Mm,
This is a technique called twin blocks. It's upper and lower appliances that meet on an inclined plane. And the inclined plane, if you have a receding chin, uh, moving the teeth doesn't correct that.
mm,
You have to put a handle on the upper teeth and the lower teeth, and then they meet on blocks, twin blocks.
mm,
And this causes the lower jaw to move forward. And literally, it makes the jaw grow forward. It's
mm.
not simply just moving the individual teeth, it's correcting the face in that way. So twin blocks are used worldwide. I invented that technique in 1977.
Wow.
So I've traveled the world for 40 years and lectured in 55 countries many, many times. Um, and, twin blocks are used all over the world.
Wonderful. That really sounds like a wonderful technique, and a lot of
Yeah.
people certainly have benefited from it over the years and will still benefit from it in the future as well. What is your website, Doctor, so our viewers at home can learn a little
Well,
bit more about
I,
you?
I have three websites. Twinblocks@mac.com, and you can get access to all of them from that one. But for example, my second website is Transforce Orthodontics.com. And the third one is New Horizons in Orthodontics.com. So if you look up one of these sites, or if you Google me, Dr. William Clark, you can find these websites.
Wonderful. Are you working on any new books now, Doctor?
Um, I'm working on, well, this is one of my other books, New
Right.
Horizons.
It's a
And
beautiful
this
book.
book we're talking about, but this is one version of it. That one is published by Book Trail.
Hmm.
This was the first one, and
Hmm.
it was published by Author House.
Gotcha.
But I have a third edition. These are, the second edition was extended by a couple of chapters. The third edition is extended by a large chapter. And it's to be published almost as we speak by Regency publishers. Now, the final chapter in that, the title is A Passion for Art, because that's what we have, my wife and I. Now, I must tell you about my wife, Sheila. I sent you a couple of photographs with her. We have been married for 62 years.
Wow. That is
She is,
inspirational.
she is just my inspiration. She's wonderful, a wonderful lady.
Wonderful. It's nice you found that in your life. It's nice that it's been such an enduring part of your life.
Yes, yeah. Sheila says that I live on planet Orthodontics.
That's
And
funny.
she's absolutely right. But, I live here at home, and we love our home in Scotland,
Hmm.
near St. Andrews.
Hmm.
And we travel frequently to Edinburgh, our capital, a beautiful city. If I'm asked, what's your favorite city? It's Edinburgh.
Okay. I have to put that on the bucket list. I actually stay often in a little town in Florida called Dunedin, which is
Uh,
named after Edinburgh. It's
yeah, yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's
Uh,
a Scottish
w-
enclave in
w-
Florida.
yeah, you're welcome to come visit. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we go today, Doctor, I want to
Yeah.
get your thoughts on the new King of England. How do you think that's going to go? And what are your thoughts about King Charles?
I think he will do a great job. You know, the Queen was absolutely wonderful. She was an example to us all, really. And Charles, he is a very kind, considerate person. He's very concerned about the atmosphere and continuing to protect our Earth.
Absolutely.
Because that's extremely important for this generation to realize. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're getting the word about that from the king and from other sources as well, that we have to protect our planet. The name of the
Yeah.
book we're talking about today is called New Horizons in Life, Art, and Poetry. It is written by Dr. William Clark. He is a charming man, and that charm emanates throughout his work. You want to look at his poetry, you'll want to look at his prose, and of course, you will want to look at his artwork as well. It is just lovely. Another book you would want to look at is called Faces and Braces, and you can find more about the doctor at his website, twinblocks@mac.com. Did I get that correct, Doctor?
You certainly did,
Okay.
yes. And thank you so much for your interview. You've just been excellent, and I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. You know, these Logan Crawford genes have a lot of
Yes,
Scottish in them as well. So I think
yes,
that's why we connected, Doctor.
that's good. Okay, I look
Absolutely.
forward to meeting you.
Same here. Same here. And to our viewers at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.